Hello guys, so in this video we will be discussing about the two major diseases of respiratory system which are most commonly seen in worldwide around the world, and those two important diseases are asthma and COPD, right? So if we discuss the brief introduction regarding asthma and COPD, we will be comparing the both disease in the most simplest words and simplest language, and making it precise, short, and easy to understand. So, if we talk about asthma, first of all, asthma is what is asthma? Basically, it is a respiratory disease, right? It is a respiratory disease in which your airways get blocked. And how does your airways get blocked? Through excessive mucus production. Due to the excessive mucus production, your airways get inflamed, swelling takes place, they get obstructed, due to which you are unable to breathe properly, your airways are blocked, and there is airflow limitation, right? So that is called asthma. Basically, asthma and COPD. So what are the common differences? Asthma is normally reversible and COPD is normally not fully reversible. For example, if you are taking medicines, in asthma you might be able to eradicate all the symptoms, but in COPD you might not be able to fully recover. You might have mild to minute symptoms of COPD after having a prolonged treatment, right? So this is the most common difference between asthma and COPD. Another common difference between asthma and COPD is that asthma occurs during childhood in the age of 3 to 5 years, and it can go up to adulthood as well, which means it can take place during your adulthood as well. However, COPD normally takes place after the age of 40 or 40 plus 50 plus. Your lungs are more immune, more sensitive to foreign particles, due to which there is a great chance that COPD can occur in later ages. For example, if you are aged above 40 years, 50 years, COPD can occur. Both are similarly same, but however, asthma is reversible and COPD is not reversible or not fully reversible, right? And in COPD, what happens that the airflow limitation is both progressive and associated with abnormal inflammatory response of the lungs. There is abnormal, excessive inflammatory response, inflammatory mediators, cytokines, etc. They are released due to noxious particles or gases that have entered in your body, right? And in response to that, abnormal inflammatory response takes place, right? And in COPD, what do you see? Small airway disease, chronic bronchitis, and emphysema, which occurs due to COPD. I will not go into that detail. However, they take place due to COPD. In asthma, there is also hyperresponsiveness. Your immune system is activated, cells are released, and T cells are released against your foreign particle, and hyperresponsiveness takes place. Again, after that, bronchial inflammation can take place. Mast cells, eosinophils are released with plasma exudation. There's fluid accumulation in your airways. Fluid starts to accumulate. This takes place, and edema is a common disease. Fluid accumulates. Smooth muscles hypertrophy. Your muscles get enlarged. There's matrix deposition, mucus plugging, and epithelial damage, right? And chronic asthma inflammation may be accompanied by irreversible airflow, which is then categorized as COPD. Now, if we go up to the symptoms in asthma, what happens during asthma? There's cough, wheezing, chest tightness, and due to the airways which are blocked, you occur most commonly shortness of breath. You are unable to breathe properly. And in COPD, there is productive cough. Productive means you are coughing again and again, and with small time interval, and excessive coughing with clear or white or clear sputum which is released by mucus cells, wheezing and breathlessness. You are unable to breathe properly. And again, due to COPD, lower respiratory infections also take place. There's hypertension, depression, weight loss, reduced muscle mass, weakness, and right heart failure. Okay, so this was a common comparison with symptoms and general discussion. Now, if we talk about The causes, so causes asthma is normally due to any of the viral infections, environmental exposure to allergen, for example pollen, domestic pests, or if you are working in a factory or in a production site where it is you are exposed to harmful chemicals, asthma can take place. Atmospheric pollution, due to atmospheric pollution, for example sulfur dioxide, ozone, any other particulates which are foreign particles, asthma can take place. Emotional is another cause. Again, cigarette smoke and perfume. Some people also acquire asthma due to perfumes. That can be a good. That can be a most important cause, right? Genetic factors. If of course, if you have in genes that someone in your family has already gone through asthma, then you might acquire. If the mother or father has gone through asthma, then you might have acquired genetically from them, right? COPD. Again, to come back to COPD, what are the causes of COPD? The main cause is smoking. Okay, smoking is the main cause for COPD. Again, there is inhalation of smoke from heating fuels. This can cause COPD. Poorly ventilated areas, urbanization, air pollution, occupation. Again, occupation was here as well. So that's the same. COPD is caused by long-term exposure to toxic particles and gases. For example, that comes under smoking. So that's due to that can acquire COPD. Now, COPD. There is no such symptom for mild COPD, but if it is severe, you will have prolonged expiration, poor chest expansion, and normal cardiac recurring chest or chest which is tight and you are unable to breathe properly, fatigue. That is the main cause, right? Treatment we will talk about later. Again, causes can be smoking is the main cause, right? Fatigue is also a symptom of COPD, right? And then if we talk about the management for asthma and COPD, so in management we can see that we can abolish symptoms, restore normal or possible lung function, reduce severe attacks, or minimize absence from school or employment for some times. And investigation of asthma, you can do PFR, spirometry, blood and sputum test, chest X-ray. We will not go into that detail, but you should know if you have to diagnose asthma, how should you do it, right? And same goes with COPD. In COPD, you can do lung function test, right? Lung function test, chest X-ray, blood gases test, sputum examination, ECG for your heart function, right? And the last thing, and quickly, we will discuss the drug treatment. And in drug treatment for asthma, the first short-acting relievers are beta-2 agonists. Beta-2 agonists, they reduce the symptoms, right? Right? They reduce the symptoms, which includes inhaled beta-2 agonists, salbutamol and terbutaline. And if you're talking about long-acting for long-term effect, then the salmeterol and formoterol, right? And now, if we talk about inhaled corticosteroid, we can give for we can give for mild symptoms. Okay, one thing about inhaled beta-2 agonists is that they also relax your muscles, right? They relax the smooth muscles, right? Relax the smooth muscles. You should remember that. Again, their compound inhaled long-acting beta-2 agonists and corticosteroids. Sodium chromoglycate is they actually we can give them to reduce the inflammatory cells, right? The number of inflammatory cells basically. And then leukotriene modifiers, and then other agents include inhaled antimuscarinic agents, theophylline, oral corticosteroids. Oral corticosteroids are only given in severe conditions, right? You remember that. Again, methotrexate, cyclosporin, and these are all second line. These are all first line, right? And if you talk about COPD, for COPD, first of all, quit smoking. Smoking is the main cause of COPD. Then beta adrenoreceptor agonist, which again reduces the symptoms. Antimuscarinic agents. Antimuscarinic agents again restore the lung function. So that's used for lung. Theophylline phosphodiesterase type 4 inhibitors. Corticosteroids are used for frequent exacerbations. Frequent exacerbation, for example, if your symptoms worsen, then you can give corticosteroid. Antibiotics and mucolytic agents. Mucolytic agents, they reduce the sputum viscosity and they reduce the number of examination. For example, if your symptoms are worsening, you can give mucolytic agents and with corticosteroid as well, and they reduce the those symptoms which are worsening, right? And this was a drug therapy for both COPD and asthma, right? And this was the basic comparison between asthma and COPD.